A number of school districts in Massachusetts have started to restrict the use of cell phones in the classroom.
Yeah, Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell is now proposing a statewide ban. Our NBC 10's John Maroney has been looking into the issue. He's joining us live from Needham with more. John.
Priscilla, cell phone bans in schools, they did not seem workable not too long ago. But as more and more communities take them up, the thought of a statewide ban is not that unrealistic.
It's good because you're not really distracted or you don't want to check your phone at all, because if it's in your pocket, you just want to check it constantly.
At Needham High School, cell phones in the classroom are verboten.
It's pretty much fine. If you really need your cell phone in class for like a real reason, teachers will let you have it.
Brockton High School, the state's largest, started restricting cell phones last fall. They're locked up in a pouch in the morning and unlocked at the end of the day.
Pops open, and they just simply retrieve their phone.
Brockton's principal says the little green pouches are changing student behavior with improved educational focus and social interaction.
We're seeing students that are more engaged in the classroom. We're seeing less distractions in the classroom and the hallways. We're even seeing the impact with our lunches, where students are actually engaging in conversation instead of, looking at their phones. So it's helped us tremendously.
The state attorney general and others are now looking to institute a state ban with bell-to-bell restrictions.
These bans will help us as a first step, but I guess I would say I wouldn't want them to be the last step.
A psychiatrist and researcher at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, Dr. John Torres, cautions against an approach of one ban fits all, given the benefits of social media for some people.
I think we ideally want a more nuanced and personal approach that says, what is technology doing for each person, and how can we make a plan and respond in a way that helps that individual?
Now, the State Department of Education isn't really sure how many communities now have cell phone bans, but in the last year or so, it says it has given out about $1 million to help them deal with the issue. We're live in Needham. John Maroney, NBC 10 Boss.
All right, John, thank you. NBC 10 commentator Sue O'Connell is here to continue the conversation for us. So, cell phones, social media, it's been around for a long time. What's the play here? Why is the effort now to curb the use of cell phones in classrooms?
Well, Colton, as John was reporting, we now have a good 20 years of solid data on how constant access to our cell phones and social media impacts children, teens, young adults, all of us, right? So it was easy in the early days of this century to brush off those worries about screens by comparing it to the concerns from earlier generations that we had about how much TV we watch, right? But now we know it's very different. And look, COVID was a factor. Many educators are reporting that before COVID, they'd have to urge the students to be quiet when they got in the classroom. But when students returned to in-person learning, they didn't need to be told to be quiet because they weren't talking to each other because they were on their phone.
Well, I get it. I completely understand it. I feel like our viewers do too. But let's talk Australia, right? They didn't stop at cell phones. If you're under 16 years old, you are banned from having the use of some social media out there. Is that something that we could see come to America one day?
No, Colton, for two reasons. First, Australians and Americans have vastly different views of how to be independent and be part of a community. Like, just for example, in 1996, there was a mass shooting in Australia. They had a mass shooting problem, actually. They immediately passed regulations that asked people to bring back their guns, buy back guns, and also pass stricter gun laws. You know what? Since 1996, Australia has only had 3 mass shootings. And second, social media executives, they've known for a long time the harm that social media does to teens and kids from their own internal research, and they've done nothing to protect America's youth. And if you remember on Monday, Meta and X's CEOs, Zuckerberg and Musk, they were right there, front and center at President Donald Trump's inauguration. Trump could ask them to self-police. If he does, it will happen. If he doesn't, it won't, Colton.
What could go wrong? Sue, as always, thank you.
You're welcome.